How's it going, everybody? Today I'm back with an awesome guest, Mr. Mandel Rat Garbage Nallo. Mandel, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing well, buddy. Thank you. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for coming on today, man. It's really awesome to get you on and talk to you. And I just want to start off by asking, where did that nickname Rat Garbage originate from?
Yeah, the nickname, it just came up kind of organically. My friends and I were thinking of an Instagram handle because I didn't want to just be Mandel Nallo MMA. I wanted
Mhm.
to kind of do something in the opposite direction of everybody else. So I was thinking, something to do with garbage, and this was the first thing that was available. I think there were a couple different options, and then it wasn't even supposed to be a nickname, but people just
Mhm.
started calling me that, so
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
where I
went
was
with it.
confused because it's always Mandel Mango Nallo. So
Yeah, yeah,
that's
my
why I was
friends
a
call
little.
me Mango,
Hmm.
but my Instagram handle is rat garbage, so I don't know. That it just I think people who watch fighting like that, so
Mhm.
it is
Yeah,
what
I
it
know.
is.
I first saw you on the Contender Series, and I feel like that's where I heard they were referring to you as rat garbage, and I
Yeah.
mean obviously that sticks with you.
It is, you can't control your nickname, so it is what it is now.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's too far gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, we're almost 2 weeks out from your UFC debut, April 18th in Winnipeg against Jai Herbert. You've been in this game for a long time now, and your UFC debut is finally here. What's been going through your mind, and what's been going on as the fight gets closer?
Same as every fight, like regardless of whether you're fighting in the UFC, I'm sure for a world title, or it's your pro debut, like it's the same level of importance, because if you don't win this next one, then you got to restart from square one. So. Um, there's not a huge amount of extra baggage involved with this one. It's just knowing that I have to go out there and perform. And luckily for me, I have a lot of experience. It's not like I'm a young guy that's going to be, shocked by the the size of the arena or anything like that. I think it's just making sure I don't mess up.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, to talk about the experience that you do have a lot of experience. And most times when fighters debut, like some people look at it like they're getting thrown a bone a little bit. Like they get in there and they win, and then it's, yeah, but let's see if they can do it against a real UFC guy. I feel like that's the opposite of what's going on with you. You're coming in there against a real proven vet in Jai Herbert. What do you make of this matchup?
It's a good matchup. Like from a entertainment standpoint, I'm sure it's a very watchable fight. This isn't a bathroom break kind of a fight. And then for my career, it's significantly better than fighting kind of somebody who's an unknown. People don't really understand. Like, let's say you have a good win against somebody who's an unknown. People don't really know where to place you after that. But if you have a good, solid win against a guy like Jai Herbert, all of a sudden people understand where to place you in the division, and it lets you kind of skip a lot of the most difficult part of a UFC career, which is like being in the weeds in that block of guys who are unranked but still very talented. And that's where you can have like tough fights that people don't value as highly. So I think it's an amazing opportunity to kind of move my career forward a little more quickly than a lot of guys get to.
Mhm. It's definitely a great debut, just because, like you explained, getting through that gauntlet in the start, where you're just kind of like another one of those unknown guys trying to prove yourself. I mean, a win here, you've already proven yourself. Where do you think a win against Jai Herbert puts you in this lightweight division?
I think it just lets you climb that much quicker. Like all of a sudden you can call out guys, another guy that people know of and has done well. Like look, Ilia Topuria had a matchup against Jai Herbert, and in a few years he was world champion. Like you should be able to build off of a good win like this into fighting, top 15 guys and then crawling your way into the top 10 pretty quickly. So it's a it's a it's a good jumping off point. I don't know where like it all depends on how you win as well. You can't just like squeak out a win and then call out something that's too lofty, they're not going to give that to you. But if you show them that you can perform, you can definitely jump up pretty. We've seen it happen time and time again. One big performance, and all of a sudden you're, on the main card.
Yep. Yeah, you're right there. One big performance, you're right there in the thick of it all. So I want to go back into the times that brought you here. And you've definitely had a more unique career path than most fighters making their debut. You've had a lot of Bellator experience, a lot of regional wins, and you've had years of high-level competition. You're coming in with more experience than your average UFC debut. And when you look back on the whole journey, what points of that really shaped you into the fighter you are today?
Uh, I think it's just all of it together, you know. Obviously, you take a lot more from losses than you do wins, but I think just understanding that the job isn't going out there and winning fights. The job is the day-to-day being in the gym, enjoying learning new technique, enjoying the monotony of tightening up small holes in your game. That's what the real job is. So just understanding that you got to love that in order to excel in the sport. That's it. Like I know it's been like on paper a long career, but it doesn't feel long. I feel like I'm still, new new to the sport, you know. It's I don't really, yeah, look at the timeline as like, oh, th this has been so long, I should take stuff away from it. It's just doing the same thing every day, every week, every month, and then you get better.
Yeah, like you said, you have been at this a long time, but it doesn't feel like a long time. You were 23 when you had your first pro fight. You're now 36 making your debut in the UFC. Was the plan always in the end to be in the UFC, or were you just gonna stay around in Canadian promotions and Bellator?
I think every MMA fighter, that's their ultimate goal. You know, nobody starts their pro career and is like, I'm excited to be a regional guy, you know.
Mm.
But I think that it's okay to be that if that's the way your career ends up. But starting your career early enough at 23, the goal is always the pinnacle, and the pinnacle is the UFC. So like, yeah, like nobody would tell you that no, that wasn't my goal. But I'm different than a lot of people where like that it's never been the only thing. Like fighting in a cage for money is the job, and fighting good guys uh is essentially what you're doing. So I never really had my heart set on it. I just knew it would happen for some reason. I was never doubtful that eventually I would make my way there. But it wasn't like I wasn't obsessed with it, but I always knew it would happen.
So out of everything happening before your UFC debut, I don't think many people expected to see you pop up in a Sam Hyde video. So what was that whole experience like?
Mm, yeah, I've been friends with those guys for a good while now. This is like I guess this video is the when first time we made like anything together really on the site, but I've been on his podcast before. Um, I went and visited him and we did some boxing together. But yeah, it's just when their show got canceled, I was a big fan, so I'm a big like if I love something, I'll message people. And I'll
Mm.
be like, "Hey man, I love what you do." If I see anybody that like took a loss or whatever or had a hard time, I'll message them, even if I don't know them, if I'm a fan of their stuff. So I messaged them when their show got canceled, and I was like, "Hey, anything you need, I'm your guy or whatever." And then Nick Rochefort had an antique shop near where I fought one time in Bellator. And me and my wife went out there and bought a painting from him. And then we hung out that evening and we've just been cool ever since. So I've been cool with those guys and I think the things they make are some of the best things on the internet. So yeah, it's just like a friendship, I guess.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. I have some of my buddies are huge Sam Hyde fans. So I don't I have I'm not don't really watch them too much by myself, but when I'm with them, I do. So that's why
Yeah.
I was just pretty shocked when I never knew that before that you had a friendship with him. So it's just kind of a weird. Some might say a weird collab if you don't know that it's
Yeah, no,
a
for
thing.
sure.
But yeah.
It is seemingly pretty random, but
For fans just finding out about Rat Garbage, a guy who's never seen a judge's scorecard in his pro career, what should people expect for the first time they get to watch you in the octagon?
Uh, something cool, I guess. I think people like watching me fight because I don't fight in a standard way, but you can see a lot of the technique that goes into what I do. You know, it's not going to be boring. There are cards, there are shows where you can kind of plan your bathroom breaks or your snack breaks. This won't be one of those fights, none of my fights are that way. So, get your snack if depending on how the card is sorted, get your snacks before or after, go to the washroom before or after, but do not do it during my fight. I don't know what's going to happen, but something
Definitely
cool.
not. All right, Mandel. I really appreciate you coming on today. I really appreciate you taking the time. Can't wait to watch you on April 18th. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, buddy. Have a good day.
Have a good one.